Good morning and welcome to Bowling, to the west of Glasgow. I'm doing a canal walk for the next 5 days. We're doing the Forth Clyde and Union Canals to Edinburgh. As I say, this is Bowling Basin, lock number 40, and this gives you access to the Clyde River. The Forth Clyde and Union Canal towpath is one of the Scotland Great Trails. The Forth Clyde Canal connects the Clyde in Glasgow to the Firth of Forth at Grangemouth and allowed sea-going ships to cut across Scotland rather than go over the top past John O'Groats. The full length is 35 miles with 39 locks. An Act of Parliament approved the construction of the Forth Clyde Canal in 1768 and it was completed in 1790. The canal's heyday was between 1790 and 1850. Starting to get a bit more urban now, but it's still pretty nice. This is quite interesting. It's a drop lock. And the canal fell into disrepair and they built the road across the top, and then when they restored the canal they had to think about how they were going to go underneath. So what happens is that the boat comes in, the gates are shut, and then the water's pumped out, the boat goes underneath the road, and then the water's pumped in, and then the boat sails out. Just passed through the Clyde shopping centre. We're about 4.5 miles in now, about halfway. I guess we'll be heading out into the countryside. This is lock 36, so we're just starting to go up the Boghouse Locks. It's been a nice walk so far. Starting to feel a bit more rural, even though we are in Glasgow. We made it to lock 27. And there's a pub there, but I think I'll press on. As you can see, we're still going up. We're just crossing the Kelvin Aqueduct, which obviously crosses the River Kelvin, where I was walking yesterday when I walked the Kelvin walkway. This aqueduct was the longest when built. Goes over the River Kelvin, so we'll see if we can get a view of that. Yep, there we go, River Kelvin. We walk down the left hand side there, and then the locks up there, should be 5 I think, is the Maryhill Locks. Right, so we're going to have a look at those now. As you can see, there's a basin between each lock. That gives the boat somewhere to tie up before they go into the next lock, and also allows them to pass any boats that are coming down if they're going up. Yeah, it's quite a feat. We've risen quite sharply. So this is the top lock, and this is as far as I go today. I'm going to head off to Maryhill station, travel back to my accommodation, and I'll be back here tomorrow to do the next section of the Forth Clyde Canal. So today we're leaving the city behind and heading out into the countryside. Hopefully it's going to be a lovely day. Just arriving at Stockingfield Junction, and a very smart bridge. This branch was opened in 1777 from the main Forth Clyde Canal, and originally there would be a floating bridge to allow the horses to swap over onto the other side of the canal. Right, we need to carry on up this way a little way to cross the bridge. So it's got 3 arms, so we can get to either side of the canal. Yeah, really impressive bridge. And we're going to carry on the Forth Clyde Canal towpath this way. been walking down the green corridor really, and this is the first chance to get to see the wider landscape. Yeah, it's quite nice. Nice walking along that ridge, I should think, but we're going to carry on along by the side of the road another couple of miles. So just made it to Kilsyth, which is where I'm going to stay tonight. It was an enjoyable day. Just met Tony, local, really nice to chat to him. I guess that's a homage to the old style bridges that we saw at the start of the walk on the canal, where they used to wind them by hand. So this is the marina, and I'm going to head off to Kilsyth to my accommodation, and I'll be coming back here in the morning. Good morning, and another sunny day. I'm just leaving Kilsyth on the way to the end of the canal today. So we'll see the Kelpies and then the river at Grangemouth. So we've come 4 miles according to that, and we've just arrived at Kelvin Head, and up there in the trees is the source of the River Kelvin. Doing pretty well, so I might just stop on this bench and have something to eat and drink. Well, this is the first lock since Maryhill, so that's quite a few miles away. So I guess we're heading down a little bit now. And got to the M80. It's been really quiet up to now. Never mind. But I'm sure we'll be out in the countryside shortly. Interesting boat. Guess it cuts reeds and weeds. Right, so we're just passing Bonnie Bridge, just a little bit further, and there should be a spa shop. Other small shops are available, and I'm going to get my dinner there. That'll be about 7 miles today so far. So just coming up towards the Falkirk Wheel. In fact, there it is. On the way up or down, by the looks of it. Impressive. There's a boat on it. Somewhere I always want to come. I might just wander over there and have a look. Looks like it was going up, not down. Quite an impressive structure. And there's a bit about it. 1,200 tonnes of steel used to create it. 14,868 bolts, and it takes 5 minutes to rotate. So the Union Canal is up to the side of the Falkirk Wheel. Edinburgh is 33 miles and Carron Sealock is 4 miles. They're restoring this part of the canal. It gives you a good idea what the gates look like under the water. So this is lock 14. Yeah, very deep. I suppose it had to be to allow sea-going ships to pass along it. And a few more locks to go. Another staircase of locks, heading down towards the River Carron. And obviously the Forth. I guess it's all weeding up as they're replacing the gates up the top. They can get that weed boat down here and clear it out in no time. Here's my first view of the Kelpies. The canal's been pretty straight all along here, and I believe that the original canal went straight down there, but part of the regeneration they diverted it this way. And obviously the canal path goes this way, so that's the way that I'm going to go as well. And let's just take us straight to the Kelpies and the Sealock. There they are. There they are. I think that's Duke. But we're going to finish off the canal walk first, then we'll go back and see the Kelpies. That's the last stretch of the canal, and this is the Sealock. That takes you down to the River Carron. And then if you turn right, you'd head out towards the Forth. So you can see the problem with Sealock here is that you have to wait for the tide. So they have built an extension the other side. And tomorrow I'll be starting at the Falkirk Wheel and walking up onto the Union Canal, which I'll walk along all the way into Edinburgh, which will take me a couple of days.